You're doing a good job.
Thank you. Even though I kind of got burned.
Yes, I know you got burnt. Abby, don't stir like this. Stir like that.
I can only stir like this because it's my left hand.
Well, stir with your right hand. It'll get better once it quits hurting. I got that from that book.
Ouch! Go for the shoot that said, "Suck it up, Buttercup."
Hi, and welcome back to another edition of Cookin' Chris's Dishes with the good old boy, where we're cooking up dishes straight from recipes.crock.com, which is my beautiful wife's cooking blog that has well over 500 recipes and rising. And I know we actually call this Cookin' Chris's Dishes, but this is actually Mikey's dish. Mikey researched this dish. Mikey cooked the final product, which we will dine on momentarily, and so I think we should maybe call this Cookin' Mikey's Dishes. Maybe I'll just branch out on my own, have my own cooking show.
Oh, are you gonna?
No, I'm kind of liking where I'm at. But I have been wanting to make some seafood recipes for quite some time now, and just haven't really gotten around to it. I know we did the Under the Sea dip, and then we also did some Louisiana shrimp. I wanted to try my hand at something else, and that was a seafood gumbo. And we dug around in a few different recipe books, as well as looked on the interwebs, looking at different recipes and getting ideas. And I wrote some ideas down, and I tried it out a couple days ago, and we had this for dinner. And what did you think of it, Miss Ad?
It was delicious.
Yes, Miss Ad went over the moon crazy about it, and it was really, really good. So we're going to make it now. But first, to start off with, what we had to do, and I did this off camera because it takes a little time to do, is we made a roux. And some of you Yankee folk up there are saying, "What's a roux?" That's what I said.
Go.
Aren't you a Yankee?
Yeah, that's why I said that's what I said. And a roux, by definition, is a mixture of fat, especially butter and flour, used in making sauces. Now, what I used here was a 1/4 cup of cooking oil and a 1/4 cup of flour. And the reason I didn't use butter is because butter burns really easily. Kind of like me, and I'm clumsy in the kitchen, and the last thing I wanted to do was burn my butter, so I went ahead and used some canola oil. If you want to get all gutsy, put butter in it. Me, I'm going to stay with the cooking oil and occasionally fry me and Miss Ad. So the next thing I'm going to do is to prepare for the end. I sound like a survivalist. I am going to take 2 cups.
You gonna have a microwave in the end? Uh-oh. I think I put it in
my
the
wife was...
John.
Did you really?
I think I did.
So we're going to try this again. I just put a cup of rice in there, and I'm going to go ahead and do another cup. I'm just using minute rice. 2 cups will make 4 cups of rice. Let me get 2 cups of water. And this is in our handy-dandy little rice cooker. Where did we get this from, huh?
That's a Pampered Chef rice cooker. I went to like one party years and years ago and bought a bunch of stuff.
Well,
Haven't been back since.
It's served us well. This
But
thing has
yeah, we
lasted
like
a
'em.
really long time. Hey, can I get a back rub later?
Huh?
I just wanted to be a Pampered Chef.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm gonna... Wow, that was almost the stereo. I'm just going to toss that in for 5 minutes. And there's the rice. And I'll go along with the rest of the ingredients. You're going to use your 1/4 cup of oil or butter and your 1/4 cup of flour on a medium-high heat and stir it, whisk it in, and then keep stirring it. Don't stop stirring it. And that flour is going to continue to get darker and darker. Some recipes I saw, and you stir until it's the color of hazelnuts. Somebody else said, you stir until it's the color of peanut butter. And then I saw in another one, you stir until it's the color of chocolate. Well, there's a lot of different contrast between light brown and black. And I really didn't want to burn the flour. So I'm going to lean on the side of peanut butter more than chocolate. So
That means I'm done.
no, you need to stir just a little bit longer.
Miss Addie's been stirring for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah. So what you want to do is just keep stirring it, and you see how it'll clump up in the corners a little bit? Stir it loose. Stir it up. Keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring it.
Miss Addie's been doing a real good job.
Yes, she has. She's done a real good job. That's turning a real good color. It'll get a little darker. In fact, by the time that I cut up all these veggies, it should be done. So here, you keep stirring for just a little bit longer there. I just splashed a little bit of oil up on my hand. That's kind of hot. But in the meantime, other than that, you will also need 2 celery stalks chopped up. 2 celery stalks chopped up, not 2 celery
Not
stalks.
say sticks, because some people get
Stalks,
picky
sticks.
with
Okay,
stalks.
watch this.
2.
This is what you need. Not a bunch of celery. This is what you need. 2.
Right.
2
Even though
ribs. 2 ribs
There
of
you
celery.
go.
There we go. And I will chop those up. You also need 2 onions chopped up. And I know it's hard to see with all the stuff we've got on the counter, but I've got 2 onions and I'm getting ready to chop those up. 1 can of diced tomatoes with juice. 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Right here we call it Shire sauce.
Gesundheit.
Thank you very much. And also 1 tablespoon of Old Bay. And you're like, oh yeah, you also, this is kind of a big thing. You need 1 pound of okra. I'm using frozen okra. I did this before and it works just fine when you saute it.
we don't have fresh okra in our grocery store.
Yeah, we couldn't find it, so we went straight to the freezer. They had it, and it worked out just fine. And then you're like, well, Mike, you said this is a seafood gumbo. I'm like, well, yeah, it is. You're going to cook all this up first, and then a half hour before you go to serve this, that's when you toss in your meats. And I'm going to use 1 pound of jumbo shrimp. Why jumbo shrimp? Because I like jumbo shrimp. If you want smaller shrimp, you can. I'll peel it and take the tails off of it, and also make sure it's thawed. I'm also going to use 1 package, which is 12 ounces of crawfish tail meat. We get this in our store. Saves me the hassle of going to the creek and grabbing crawfish and doing all that work. Comes already peeled and in a bag frozen. I'll thaw that out along with my shrimp. And then I'm going to use a can of lump crab meat. That's all we could find in the store. They didn't have any fresh crab meat. Sometimes they do in the seafood section. They didn't. So my wife went and got some chicken of the sea lump crab meat. And we'll toss that in at the end. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and start by chopping up my onions. And it doesn't have to be fancy. I guess the first thing I ought to do, kind of scattered right now. Kind of nervous because this is the first time I've made a recipe and did it on camera. So
Oh, you're fine. And Miss Ad's been a big help.
yes, she has.
Is this good?
Nope, keep going. A little bit
Should
longer.
we tell why you're making gumbo with Miss Ad?
Yeah. Why did you like this recipe so much, baby?
Because it reminded me of one of my favorite Disney stories, and also it was the first movie that I ever watched in the theater, Princess and the Frog. And in Tiana's childhood, she used to make a lot of gumbo with her dad.
Yeah.
So when you heard Dad was making gumbo, you said, "Hey, can I help?"
Yeah.
Of course, I'm happy to have her in the kitchen.
Yep.
That was a good
Especially
movie.
since you make her stir the roux.
That's right. Yeah, I didn't want to burn my fingers. See that look? But you are doing a good job, baby. And
Yeah.
you're just about done.
Yay! Finally.
I bet Dad'll even let you help
Hallelujah.
pour some of the veggies in.
Yay!
Yep. 1 more onion. Oh, I forgot to put that long ways. That's right, we'll do it like that. Whew. That's a lot of onion. And when I started doing this, that's the first thing I thought was, man, that's a lot of onion. Put a lot of onion in it. It'll give it a lot of flavor. And that oil should be just about hot enough. I'll go ahead and cut up my celery. And again, I'm just going to do a rough chop on the celery. Nothing special. Now, I know we have some folks from Louisiana that watch this show. And if I'm totally butchering this recipe, I'm sorry. Again, I'm one of them north of the Mason-Dixon line fellers. I spent a little bit of time in Louisiana when my brother used to live down there. And I remember eating a lot of really good Cajun and Creole foods. A whole lot of shrimp, whole lot of crawfish. Shrimp po' boys are big down there. And I think what y'all call this when, I don't know if it's carrots, and leave me a comment down below and tell me what it all is that makes the Trinity, which I know is onions and celery. I'm trying to think what the other thing is.
It's onions,
Is it?
celery, and carrots.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I'm not putting carrots in this, so I guess we'll call this binary.
And you want to open your microwave or it's going to keep
Yeah, it's
beeping
going
at
to
you?
keep beeping. My rice is done, which is good. We'll have that for serving purposes later. Taking my hot skillet of 2 tablespoons of oil, and I'm going to toss my okra down in it. And you can hear it starting to sizzle. Now, for those of you who have never used okra before, I was one of them until the other day. I'll use this.
This room
It's
almost
called,
done.
and I'm going to
Just about.
butcher this, I think. It's called mirepoix.
Oh, what?
Mirepoix
Mirepoix?
is what onions, carrots, and celery together.
They call it mirepoix. I think I've also heard it called the Trinity.
Yes. It's Mirepoix.
Okay. That's French for celery, onion, and carrots. We're just using the celery and onion and okra. And what I was saying is when you start cooking okra, get a little hot.
Yes.
When you start
I
cooking
accidentally
okra.
splashed something on me.
You okay?
Yep.
So when you start cooking okra, you're going to look at it and it's going to start getting this string of, and I know this is going to sound gross when I say it, slime.
Yeah.
And you can take a look at it and they're kind of gross.
Ew.
You see the slime coming off of it?
Ew.
And in the South, actually pretty much everywhere now, but it started in the South, people used okra as a thickening agent in soups and stews because of that substance. I don't want to call it a slime because that's not what it is. And when you put it in a soup or a stew, yeah, we'll call it a goo. There's a goo that comes out of the okra.
It's a good.
There's a goo that comes out of the okra, and all it does is thickens up things. I think up here, about the only way I ever really found okra was fried okra. And you bite into it, and you can kind of feel that texture. But it's good. I really enjoy it. And I used it in this gumbo, and it thickened it up real well.
I have an update. Are you ready?
Yes.
I'm doing more research on your Trinity thing here.
Okay.
And it says, I just lost it, in Cajun cooking, the Holy Trinity is actually onions, celery, and bell peppers.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, those are kind of like bell peppers, sort of.
Well, they're green.
Kind of.
We're learning all kinds of things about y'all in the South. But y'all from Louisiana who do this kind of cooking, if you're watching, look at that. Look at that flip.
I bet you a buck.
And it's called the Holy Trinity of Cajun cooking, according to Serious Eats. But Germany has a version that is carrot, celery, and leek, it appears.
Is that starting to... Yeah, it's started out pretty good.
Anyhow, it's good stuff.
It is.
So, Dad, is this good?
Well, in the middle it is, but you need to stir on the outside, like that.
She's been stirring and stirring and
For
stirring.
about forever.
That's all right.
It's been about 25
It's all
minutes or so
gonna pay
now.
off. You know how good that gumbo was, isn't
Yep.
it?
Are we gonna have that for dinner?
You
Yay!
sure are. Is it worth some more
We're gonna have a
stirring?
dance.
Here. All right, so my... Can you see that on the camera?
I can see it from here. I'm
You
not
kinda
sure.
see that-
Okay,
that film
please
that's
don't
over the
slash
top of
that
it?
on the floor.
Onions and my celery.
Can I pour
Put
some
there.
in?
Yep, I'll let you pour in the celery.
Yay! You poured in
Okay.
a bit. 2 bits.
And all you want to do is cook the veggies down until they've wilted. And make sure that your okra has all kind of warmed up, heated up from the skillet. From like I said, I was using frozen okra, but you just want to do it till it is all wilted down. Can you see that pretty well on the camera there, babe?
Yeah.
Flinging onions
I mean,
everywhere. You
we
make
can
sure
see
it's
that
on the
you're
floor.
flinging around white and green stuff.
Well, the white stuff is the onion.
The green stuff
I
is...
got the white stuff.
The green
baby.
stuff... The green stuff is a bit of the celery and the okra.
Mainly the okra, yeah.
Yes.
And here you go, Miss Ad. Why don't you switch me places and I'll let you
Freedom!
use
Now be careful because that
the
skillet's hot.
spatula. Yeah. I want you to burn yourself.
Okay, put the celery in.
Take your step stool.
I don't... Taking that.
Stir it through a little bit.
Excuse me.
While she's putting that in there, take a look at the roux. See how it's darker in color? It's kind of got the...
Use the spoon, honey. Don't use the knife.
Don't worry.
It's got the color of peanut butter to it. What you're doing there pretty much is you're just making sure your flour's cooked up, because nothing really tastes good in raw
Good
flour.
job.
Hey, good job. She even used the knife. Put that
Stir it up a
roux.
little bit.
This.
That roux's
Gently.
good.
And this is taller, and the pan isn't that tall, so I'm fine here. You with my right hand. Yay.
Y'all ever cook with your kids in the kitchen? I think it's kind of a good thing.
I've baked before.
It's not just good because you get to hang out with your kid. I mean, I love hanging out with my kid, but it kind of
Daddy does it all the time. Don't worry.
it kind of prepares them for the future. And one of these days, you're going to want your kids to move out.
I'm bringing
And
the
so-
okra over here so like it's not all just bunched up in a corner. And plus also whenever I'm running a YouTube channel, so
She's taking over.
whenever I may get a YouTube channel, I'm planning on like making a little bit of a baking part because I love to bake.
Okay.
I made like some special.
Who's one of your favorite cooks on YouTube?
Can I go get my cookbook?
Huh?
Can I please go get my cookbook?
Sure.
She's going to show her the cookbook of her favorite YouTuber.
She was going to say me.
Oh, no. Sorry, Dad.
Well, that really reinforces my point where I said you're going to want them to move out one day. And if you,
Dirty nummies.
yeah, she likes this gal named Rosanna Pansino. We all do. She's really cool. She's kind of nerdy, and she cooks some really cool things. She has guests over on her show, like Rhett and Link, and other fun YouTubers as well as stars. Roseanne, I still haven't got my invite,
Oh,
so
goodness.
shoot me a message, a comment down below, Roseanne,
Original ad.
if you'd like for me to come over and cook something with you. All right, the roux is definitely done.
See how Dad stirs it for a few minutes, and now the roux is done.
Well, yeah, it's burning my hands. All right, let me in there for a little bit, if you would.
Okay.
I'm just gonna. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. But one thing I've noticed about this recipe versus some of the other recipes we do on here, this is not a dump and go recipe. There's a lot of prep involved in this, so it's a little bit of work, but to me, it's rewarding because I cooked it, I figured it out. Try it sometime. Go search out recipes, different recipes, and put something together, and I flat out guarantee you'll enjoy the outcome of it. But it's a lot of stirring, it's a lot of cutting, it's a lot of chopping. It's a lot of burning your fingers at times. I don't recommend that part, but totally
Like
worth
just
it.
one piece of onion is pretty much just dancing right now.
Well, we bought dancing onions.
Look at that piece of onion. It's just like
See it?
dancing.
Go back in here and stir
Goodbye,
this up.
onion.
But what you want to make sure is that your onions are cooked until they're kind of see-through, which these are not yet. And I think part of that is because of this heating element I'm using. And so you can keep an eye on my pretty face while I'm cooking. I think this heating element's kind of small for this skillet.
Why don't you turn it on behind you and just let it cook real fast while you finish the rest, or is that the next step?
Let's do that. Addie, I want you over by the stove here.
Bring your stool.
Yes.
Right here. And I'm going to have you
Yes.
keep stirring this.
Okay. It's easier because I won't burn myself.
All right. And I'm going to finish stirring up this roux, which it should be about done. It is.
Did you shut your element off here so you guys don't burn yourselves?
There we go. All right, so the veggies should be pretty much cooked through, and they are. So you
Okay.
can quit stirring now. And according to my instructions that I wrote out to myself, I've sauteed the onion, the celery, and the okra until wilted, and then add it to the slow cooker
What do I do with
into
it?
the roux.
Just hang on to it. I bet Dad will let you dump the tomatoes in here in a minute.
Yep, move your stool back over here.
Yeah, let's gotta move this stool
that in. You see it's all kind of soaking up all that oil and flour.
Just a question, what should I do with this?
Just put it in the sink for now. Actually, no.
Wait.
That's a better spoon for
Dad wants your
this.
spoon.
Now look, you could kind of see. Shut my stove off. You can see better in this camera, I bet. See that stringiness that's going on in there? That is the okra. The stuff that's coming out of the okra that will thicken all of this up. Alright, so now you've got your veggies added into your oil and flour mix, your roux. And then I'm going to quickly add
Hang on, Dad. She's coming
4
around to help
cups
you.
of chicken broth. Come on around here. I'm going to go ahead and add this in. I want you to stir. Hop up there and stir that in there, young'un. Now, I used 4 cups of this in this recipe. It made for a thinner gumbo, kind of soupy. Depending on how thick you want it, I'm going to go ahead and add all 4 cups because I kind of like it that way. It soaks into the rice later real well. But the okra and the flour mix, will, or the roux as we call it, will all thicken it up anyway. Keep stirring.
Just let it pour in there.
And to that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of my Shire sauce. And I'm going to be real... Stir it in. You just keep stirring over there. All right, so I added 2 tablespoons of Shire sauce to this, and then I also want to add 1 tablespoon of Old Bay seasoning. Right in there. Stir that in.
Oh, so that's how I got the red color.
Yep. And then I'm going to use 3 teaspoons of garlic. This is minced garlic, so if you want to use 3 cloves, I like a lot of garlic in this. So 1, 2, 3. Stir that all in real good.
It's all getting good.
And then you want to pour this in for me?
Yes.
Right in the middle there. And then something I forgot to tell y'all about that I did at the very end of the last batch that I made is I was trying to, some of the recipes that I found called for Creole seasoning. Of course, if you go to Emerald Lagasse's side, he's got his own essence of Emerald.
Eddie.
You wait. You wait, crazy. I think there was another one that they called it file powder. I have no idea what file powder is. If y'all know what file powder is, let me know. But again, and I know I've touted this stuff before, we like Slap Your Mama.
Woo!
Addie definitely likes this stuff. She says she doesn't like hot and spicy stuff, but I put this on shrimp one night and she went absolutely crazy for it.
I
put it in this gumbo and she went crazy for it. So I think she kind of likes the spicy stuff now, as long as it's this. Yes, but be very
Just a
careful.
little bit.
I put about a teaspoon of that in, and it did plenty as far as putting heat in. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Stop!
Oh.
Okay, so this one's going to be a little spicy.
I don't care.
Make sure you stir that in real good.
Yeah. This is my job.
Go from the bottom.
Yeah.
Go from the bottom and stir it all up. And I'm going to check my ingredients to make sure I got everything. Okra, chicken broth, 2 onions, diced tomatoes, 2 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of Shire sauce, a tablespoon of Old Bay, a teaspoon of Slap Ya Mama. And you're going to now make sure it's all stirred up good, Miss Ad. What do you think? Is she stirred up good? I think that's pretty good.
Actually, hold on just a little.
All right, she wants to stir it just a little longer.
Pick it up. Put it in.
All right, that's good.
Okay.
I'm going to take your spoon out. Don't you touch my microphone with that. And you want to put this on... Oh no. I forgot to write down how long to cook this for. Oh, I know. I remember. You set it on high, slow cook. Actually, stop. Slow cook on high for 3 hours. Start. And then once you've hit 3 hours, that's when you want to have your shrimp already peeled, deveined, detailed. And I don't mean wiping it off real good. I mean take the tails off of it. You ever been at one of them restaurants that does that, where you go in and you have this real fancy meal with big old shrimp and they leave the tails on, like especially in a soup.
In Olive Garden before, I like had my spaghetti. I had to like reach into the spaghetti.
Yeah, I went to a nice
like,
restaurant and got these great big honking shrimp in soup, and then you had to dig into your soup and get it and burn your fingers, and so I'll make sure and take the tails off.
Pull it out with a spoon.
Or yeah, you just pull it out with a spoon and eat later.
Later.
But also with the crawfish,
That's better. Now I got some space.
I put this all juices and everything from the crawfish bag into there along with the shrimp and my can of crab, and let that continue to cook on high for about a half hour until your shrimp is nice and pink, and I guess you want to say opaque. The crawfish is already cooked. The crab is already, I think, cooked, isn't it? I don't have my glasses on, but I think this is crab you can eat right out of the can. Could you?
Yep.
Does it say it's cooked or not?
No, crab. That's crab. This is secret panel.
Either way, in a half an hour, your crab will be cooked up. Your crawfish is already cooked, and it'll cook your shrimp up, and it'll be nice and pink and plump. And when you get done, it's going to look... Let me get some of this stuff out of the way.
My bet is it's cooked.
I know what it is.
Does it say ready to eat on it, Addie?
Won't you open it up and try some, see if it's cooked?
No.
Why? You like sushi?
I don't want to... It's supposed to be, like, made that way. Like, in a certain specific way.
So now I've got some rice.
And I'll spell off my seat.
You know, take a fork real quick and fluff that up.
I got to do this once.
Oh, stirring up the rice?
I'll see if I can make this a pretty presentation. Let me get this slow cooker out of the way.
I like just throwing around the steam.
And I've had that slow cooker... I'll sit right here.
Like magic.
I've had that slow cooker warming this whole time. So let me bring it over in a frame.
I like just like throwing the steam around. It's fun.
There. Watch out, baby. That, ooh, all hot and steamy. Let me stir that up. Look at that. Look at that. See them plump shrimp and the crawfish down there. There's crab meat that's all soaked into it. And it's dark, just like gumbo gets. So what I'm going to do is see if I can get all fancy with this. I'm going to take an ice cream scoop. Get a good glob.
Ooh.
I'll get a good...
A goo glob.
I'll get a good scoop of rice.
A Goode scoop.
A Goode scoop of rice, that's right. Just like that. And now, like I said, this is a little soupier than some may like. We like it this way, especially when it's nice and cold outside. Got yourself a good soup.
Plus, as a drink, some good hot cocoa.
Right in there, like that. Check that out. And there you have your gumbo. Here you go. I'll get you
Careful, it's probably hot.
a spoon.
You're almost making me fall
Now,
off my thing.
Wait for me.
I'm just gonna get a good piece of shrimp.
Put mine in there.
Just gonna get a piece of shrimp. But that has a gumbo flavor in
Look at
it.
that. Look at all that goodness right there.
Goodness.
All right.
Ready? Let me get some rice.
Yep. Here we go.
Mmm.
What do you think?
That's been in the slow cooker in our fridge for a couple days. So all those flavors have all kind of married up to one another. If you love seafood, you're going to love this dish. If you don't care for seafood, use chicken. Because this has got a real briny flavor to it, especially with the crawfish and with the crab. And of course, the jumbo shrimp have a lot of flavor in them. It's not spicy, like hot spicy. In fact, I'd sprinkle a little bit more. I think I will. You want some?
What is that?
You guys are crazy.
Take just a little bit.
That's good. That's
Now
good.
make sure that you stir that up a little bit.
I know.
But that is really, really good. You can, the texture of it from the okra is thickened it up. Again, it's not slimy, but you get that, the flavor, or not the flavor, you get the texture of the okra on there. Of course, the tomatoes, the acid in the tomatoes really go along well with everything. It's really oniony, which is good, and of course the garlic gives it a good zap too.
It's even better with the extra slap your mama.
Oh yeah. Slap your mom with some good stuff. Again, I can thank my buddy Matt Randall for telling us about this stuff. So good. But, what'd you think for your first time cooking? Good
Although
stuff,
I
huh?
did burn myself.
Yeah. You gonna,
Although the first
You
time
come by that. You come by that pretty honest.
you're gonna milk that mouse till it's dry, ain't you? We want to thank you guys for watching another edition of Cooking Chris's Dishes with the Good Old Boy. And if you like what you saw, become a member of the Crock Posse by clicking subscribe down below, and you'll see many, many more videos here on our YouTube channel here at youtube.com/MikeyGoode. Also check us out at recipesthatcrock.com, and you can check us out over at Facebook at recipesthatcrock, as well as Instagram at recipesthatcrock, and on Twitter at recipescrock. And y'all keep watching, and we'll keep cooking, and all will be well. You don't like us, though, do you?
I love it.
Me too. Bye.